Apple has expanded its self-service repair program to MacBook Air and MacBook Pro. Oh, now you're good enough to repair your laptops. Well, first it was the phone, repair the phone. Actually, I'll tell you this, in my experience having goofed around with these products and opened them all up, the laptop historically has actually been the easier job than the phone.
Really?
There's fewer adhesives. I suppose depending on which MacBook Pro you have, it could be more expensive than your iPhone. So in that sense, it might be a little bit more intimidating. You could have like a $3,000 MacBook Pro or something. But yeah, everything is shrunk down on the phone. You have the glass, which is terrifying, and you have glues, which are no good. You're using the heat gun. I'm talking about the olden days. Little strange plastic tools. With the laptops, historically, it's just been that you needed to have specific screwdrivers with unusual tips, maybe some tweezers, and maybe in the odd circumstance, some sort of spudge or some sort of plastic item to pry things. Starting tomorrow, users of MacBook Air and MacBook Pro models with chips from the M1 family will be able to obtain repair manuals. That's the big one. To actually have it supported and have the documentation that doesn't have to come from a third party guide like iFixit. Although, shout out iFixit, very helpful over the years. And genuine Apple parts and tools via the Apple self-service repair store. Apple says that self-service repair for MacBook Air and MacBook Pro will offer more than a dozen different repair types for each model, including display, top case with battery, trackpad, and more to come in the future. That's really not that many. I don't know. They say a dozen. I guess I'm not seeing them all right there. The rental kits, I guess, that come with all the necessary tools for your repair, the rental kit will be $49 for customers who don't want to purchase the tools. I guess it would be more if you just want to hang on to the stuff. Customers can send replaced parts back to Apple for refurbishment and recycling, often receiving credit for their repair purchase in the process. Oh, everybody turned into a whole service center at that point, Will?
Yeah.
I got to admit, though, I mean, obviously there was pressure on Apple to do something like this, but I just like it because of the craftiness of it all and my kind of DIY history with those products. It's fun to imagine. Do I think that everybody should be repairing their own MacBook Pros? No, I do not.
But at least give them the option. You know?
If you're feeling adventurous, and if Apple's repair manuals, I mean, look at this guy. He's got the anti-static strap on. So, I mean, there's many times I cracked into those things. I didn't do that.
I mean, the kit must be smaller than the iPhone repair kit.
Well, that thing was nutty because you had those contraptions.
There were two giant Pelican cases.
You had those contraptions because you had to have this like equal pressure to repair the screen.
Gotcha.
It was, I don't know if you remember those videos, but yeah, I still stand by what I said at the very beginning. I think, if anything, the laptop is more approachable than the phone, in my opinion. But I guess now you have more widespread support here, regardless if Apple was pressured into it or whatever. It exists now. India is considering new rules that could force Apple to adopt USB-C on iPhone. Well, they wouldn't be the first because we've heard USB-C this and that, mostly from Europe. Europe's been standing around there shouting about USB-C.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. However, probably too little too late. Reason being is there's all types of rumors that somehow Apple's going to find a way to just skip over top of it. Little hopscotch.
Okay. But now India's in the
India's in the mix, and they're saying the same thing, but even more incentive for Apple to figure something else out. It's like they don't want to admit defeat or something because you've already got Type-C on all your other stuff.
Sure.
You got it on your MacBook, you got it on your iPad. Where is it on the phone, Will? The EU has reached an agreement earlier this summer that would force Apple to adopt USB-C on the iPhone and AirPods by fall 2024. While the agreement has been reached, the legislation still needs to be formally approved by the European Parliament and European Council later this year before Apple is forced to change its ways. Well, you know what Apple's doing right now. They go over there to the European Council and they say, how you doing? They go right to the council. The council says we're doing fine and we shouldn't be talking to you because it's a conflict of interest. And they say, listen.
Tim Cook here.
This is Tim.
And I got something to say.
And I'll take you to the nice restaurant over here.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know if you're into golf or not, but we go shoot a few holes over there.
Baked you some apple pies.
I'm just joking around here, Will. This is by no means, there's nothing
But I
truthful
feel
to
like
what I said.
they have that power to influence the EU.
You're talking about whining and dining?
Uh-huh.
No, the EU's pissed off, man. The EU's like, get your wine and get your dine and get out of here. Because we want USB Type-C. No, I mean, it's a whole thing. There's so many people that spend a lot of time putting these agreements together. And they talked about the environment and this and that. And they're not going to back down for a nice meal, Will. Right?
No.
These people have integrity. You understand? It's about damn time.
Yeah.
I don't know. Officials in India held a meeting earlier this week with industry stakeholders and popular consumer electronics makers to discuss the possible impacts of a common charger. The meeting will be more of an explorative nature. We will try to learn from the stakeholders how a common charger can be adopted in India. We will also try to understand their concerns. Yeah, well, India's a big market for a smartphone. Well, I don't know if it's number 2, 3. It's up there, man. Fastest growing, probably, possibly. So it does matter what happens over there. Common cable, common port. Most people agree. And I don't know how feasible this rumor of a portless iPhone is. But nonetheless, time will tell. And I think we're all done with Lightning at this point. Agreed?
Yeah, Type-C all the way.
Okay, we're done with Lightning at this point.
Yeah.
You know.
Can we?